Hey guys, Mike Fecht here with Yoga for Men. Today we're going to take you through a little yoga for athletes post-workout practice. Okay, if you play a sport, you could think of a post-activity practice, just to bring you back into balance and really focus on flexibility and mobility more than anything else. So we're not going to have any balancing postures in here, no real strength moves to speak of. It's just to get you back into balance after maybe doing some other type of activity. So let's just go ahead and get started today, okay? We're going to start today in child's pose. So go ahead and come to a tabletop position. Take your knees out wide. Okay, bring your toes together. We're going to sink your hips back to your heels. And then start to walk the hands forward. And we're going to make this an active child's pose to start, okay? So with the fingers wide, you can walk the hands, get nice and long. So you're kind of pulling forward through the pads of the fingers. At the same time, you're pressing your hips back to your heels. You can lower your forehead down. Close your eyes. Start to shift your focus inward. Start to go inside. And then start to deepen your breath. Taking nice long inhales in through your nose. Nice long exhales out of the nose. And you can even add the ujjayi breath if you're familiar, whenever you're ready, adding that whispering sound. And maybe you can notice how you can use the exhales to even deepen the engagement. Kind of pull forward and press back. And then we're going to inhale, lift the head just an inch or two off the mat. And on your exhale, let's walk your hands over to the left. Walk them completely off of the mat. So we're just going to get nice and long, especially through that right side. Feeling that stretch all the way down the ribs into the lower back. Getting long through the left as well, so we're not crunching up the lower back. Just one more breath here. And then on your exhale, we'll take it back to center and over to the other side. And then just stay with that deep rhythmic breath throughout the practice today. Then we'll come back to center, and on an inhale, we'll come up to all fours. We'll come up to tabletop, okay? So fingers spread nice and wide. Your elbows, wrists, and shoulders are stacked. Your knees and hips are stacked. And we're just going to ease into a little bit of cat-cow movement, okay? So gently, this first round especially, inhale and just take your gaze up. Take your tailbone up. We're going to let the belly dip. Pull the shoulder blades down and in. Just ease into that engagement. And then on your exhale, we're going to take it underneath, and we're going to round the spine. Okay, press through the shoulder blades, pull the hips under, take the gaze under, and then as you're ready, we're going to inhale, come back up. And exhale, round. And then just moving with your breath, inhaling up. And exhale, rounding. And adding any other movement in too if it feels good. Okay, don't be afraid to sway the hips a little, swivel the hips a little bit to add some organic movement. Don't be afraid to move where your body tells you to go. And that's throughout your practice today. Okay, we're going to take one more good round, inhaling up. And exhale, rounding. We'll inhale back to neutral. And then exhale, this time we're going to take downward facing dog. So go ahead and curl your toes underneath. Press your hips up and back. And then we're going to walk it out a little bit here. Okay, let's get into the calves. But you want to be mindful here that the engagement is up and out of the shoulders, pressing up and back, pressing the hips up and back. Shifting that weight to the back side. And then finding a little stillness here in downward facing dog, just pressing up and back. Now follow me here. At the bottom of your exhale, We're going to walk your feet forward between your hands. Come into your forward fold. Keep your fingertips grounded. Bend your knees as much as you need to. And then here we go. We're going to inhale. Halfway lift and lengthen the spine. And then exhale, fold forward. And we're going to do that again. Here we go. Inhale, halfway lift. You can take your hands to your shins or your knees if you need to. Come up as high as you need to. Exhale, fold forward. Last time. Inhale, halfway lift. Now, on your exhale, we're going to step your left foot back. Drop your knee. We're going to inhale the arms overhead. Sink the hips forward and down and move straight into Anjaneyasana. This is crescent moon. We're going to open up the hip flexor a little bit. Okay, so as you sink the hips forward and down, be mindful that you're not just dumping off into this right thigh, and then once you come to your edge, we're going to start to scissor the right heel in toward the midline, and the left hip pulls forward, lift out of the waist, so no compression in the lower back, and reaching through the fingertips. Couple of breaths right here. And we'll exhale the hands down. We're going to curl the back toes underneath. We're going to lift the back knee. Let's ground the heel. And then inhale up to warrior one. We're only here for a couple of breaths. Okay, sink in. Press back through the outer edge of that left foot. And then let's just go straight into humble warrior today. Release your hands behind your back. Inhale, open your chest. And then exhale, hinge forward and fold forward. You can fold right inside the right thigh. Maybe the arms come up and over. If that's too much, you can always just rest the shoulder on the thigh. Let your head hang heavy. Get into the hip a little, get into the groin a bit. Breathe. And then we're going to inhale. Come back up to warrior one. We're going to exhale to two. And then immediately, from warrior two, we're going to go straight into extended side angle. So shift forward, elbow to the knee, and take the arm up and over. And we're going to inhale, come back up through warrior two, straighten the front leg, shorten the stance just a bit, moving into extended triangle. Shift forward, keep that alignment over that right thigh. The right hand can come down, shin, foot, floor, maybe a block, and then peel it open. Take your left hand high. Be mindful not to hyperextend that right knee. And then we're going to inhale, come up, bring your hands to your hips. We're going to square off with the top of our mat and shorten the stance just a bit, moving into revolved triangle. So with the hips square, we'll inhale, we're going to take the left hand high. On the exhale, we're going to shift forward. The hand can come to the shin, foot, floor, eventually to the outside of the foot, maybe even using a block. And guys, don't be afraid to use the blocks. Don't be afraid to use the props. That's what they're there for. So we'll lengthen on the inhale, and then on the exhale, twist. Take your right hand high. Work on squaring the hips or keeping the hips square. Maybe the right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward. Then we're going to exhale the right hand down. We'll set the block to the side. Step your left foot forward, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Let's do that again. Here we go. Halfway lift. Exhale, release. One more time. Here we go. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, we're going to step the right foot back this time. Drop the knee. And we'll go to Anjaneyasana on this side. Inhale the arms overhead. Sink forward and down. Start to scissor the left heel and the right hip this time. And once again, the fingers active, lifting out of the waist. Breathe. Exhale your hands down. Curl the toes underneath, lift the back knee, ground the heel, warrior one on this side, arms overhead. And then straight into humble warrior here, release the hands. Inhale, open. Exhale, lean forward, fold forward. Then we're going to inhale, come up. Warrior one. Exhale to warrior two. An extended side angle here. Shift forward. Elbow to the knee. And then, once again, we're one line from that back heel through the fingertips. Using that elbow and knee to kind of facilitate that rolling action open. And then we're going to inhale up through warrior two. Once again, straighten the leg, maybe shorten the stance just a tad. Extended triangle here, shift forward, left hand down, right hand high. Always length over depth. And then from extended triangle, here we go. Inhale, come all the way up. Hands to your hips. We're going to square off. We'll move to Pravrita Trikonasana once again. Revolve triangle. The hips are square. Inhale, the right hand high. Exhale, reach and fold. We'll go ahead and use a block on this side too. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, twist. Length through the crown of the head. Left hip pulling back, right hip pulling forward. Breathe. We'll exhale the left hand down. We'll step the right foot forward. Halfway lift once again. Here we go, deep inhale. And exhale, fold. 2 more times once again. Here we go, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, release. Last time, inhale it up. Now, exhale, we're going to step the left foot back. Go ahead and drop the knee. And this time we're going to move into a lizard lunge, guys. Get nice and long, opening up these hips a little bit. You can use blocks as you lower down, or you can come straight to the floor. And then there are a few variations we can work with. You can keep the knee grounded. If you need a little bit more intensity, maybe you lift the back knee, curl the toes underneath. But really pay attention. What's going on with the bottom of the feet? Rooting down, lifting the toes, lifting the arches of the feet, of the foot, of that front foot. And then as you're ready, you can lower it down. We're going to walk the hands up. Just take your right leg back, come to a tabletop. Give yourself a little bit of movement. And then we'll take the left foot and just bring the left foot forward. We'll go straight to the other side, guys. Get nice and long through the right leg. Stay with the breath throughout the transition. And as you're ready, go ahead and lower down. Really working on the breath. And then when you're ready, you can lower down. Let's come back up. Give yourself a little bit of movement, transitioning through. And guys, you can really, you can explore these postures. If you want to stay in them a little bit longer or a little bit shorter, you can tailor the practice to exactly what you need. Just pay attention to how many breaths you use on each side so that you can balance yourself out that way. And then you don't have to ever look at the clock during your yoga practice. So we're going to move into half pigeon from here, guys. So from downward facing dog, take your right leg high, and on your exhale, bring the right knee to the outside of the right wrist. Get nice and long through this left leg. So use the toes to drag that foot back. That's going to drop the hips down. And then when you're ready, you can start to just walk the hands forward and come all the way out of the waist. So we're nice and long. You can lower down and release the forehead down. Now, one question is what are we doing with this shin? Now, you might just continue to square the shin with the top of the mat and get deeper into the hip. However, typically, the further that you move forward, the more that you run the risk of having some sensation in the knee, and we really want to stay away from any kind of sensation in the knee. So you can kind of just use that as your gauge, use that as your barometer. If you start to feel a little sensation in the knee, just back the foot off a little bit closer to the groin, and usually that'll help a little bit. But try to do what you can to completely relax the upper body and lower the forehead down. If the forehead doesn't come to the floor, use a block. Once again, use props. Okay, and then when you're ready, we're just going to walk the hands up once again. Take the right leg back, give yourself a little bit of movement. Then find downward facing dog and go ahead and transition to the other side. Take the left leg high. Left knee to the outside of the left wrist. Get nice and long. And walk it down. Once again, guys, you can stay longer. You can tailor the practice to what you need. But today we're going to walk the hands up. We're going to sink off into the left hip. Let's swing the feet around to the front of the mat. Sit up nice and tall. And we're going to move into just one forward fold here from Dandasana, from staff posture, our basic seated posture. Hands are at your sides. Elbows soft. Spine is nice and long. Take an inhale, arms overhead. On your exhale, we're going to fold forward. You can grab the calves, ankles, shins, feet, but keep with that up and out action, okay? So we're not getting any kind of rounding out of the lower back. Nice and tall. That chest and chin is going to pull forward. And breathe. Then we'll release. Just move into a couple of twists here, guys. Left leg forward. We're going to pull the right foot in. Knee is high. Let's take the right hand behind the back. We can hug the knee. You could take the elbow across if you've got the flexibility. But inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, take your gaze over your right shoulder and just twist here. Inhale, sit tall. Exhale, twist. One more time. Then back to center. Release the right leg forward. We'll take the left foot in. Left hand back. Once again, nice and tall. Inhale up. Exhale, twist. Okay, go ahead and come back to center. Scoot toward the top of your mat. Bring the soles of your feet to the floor. Reach the arms forward, palms face up. Inhale up, and on your exhale, we're just going to lower down until you are flat on your back. You can lower all the way down to the floor. And go ahead and release. Maybe take a cleansing breath or two. A deep inhale in through the nose. Nice exhale, sigh it out of the mouth. Then we'll move into bridge posture here, guys. Bring the soles of the feet to the floor. Draw your heels up towards your rear end. Palms down. Knees over or just behind the ankles. On your inhale, we'll lift the hips. And then if you've got the flexibility here, you can walk the hands underneath, interlace the fingers, and maybe shimmy the shoulders together. Create a little shelf. And then lift. Keep the knees over the ankles. Be mindful to lift and open through the chest. Again, rooting down through the pads of the feet. And then on your exhale, we'll go ahead and lower down one vertebra at a time. You can windshield wiper the knees side to side a little bit. And then just a couple of reclined spinal twists here. Go ahead and release the left leg forward. We'll pull the right knee in. You can interlace the fingers around the knee. Get into that hip one last time. And then take a spinal twist here. Just pull the knee across. Let the hip come all the way up and over. Stay with the breath. Then we'll come back to center. Release the right leg forward. Draw the left knee in. Interlace the fingers around the knee. Get you a little movement here too. Then take your twist. We'll come back to center, and then we're going to finish up with happy baby, guys. So go ahead and grab the outsides of your feet. Okay, bring your feet parallel with the ceiling. And then as you're ready, you're going to lower the tailbone at the same time you're drawing the shoulders down. And that action alone is going to feel as if the knees are driving straight down toward the floor. So not a whole lot of movement going on, but a whole lot of engagement, just lying flat, laying that spine down absolutely flat with the floor. Just breathe. Stay here as long as you need to. And when you're ready, you can hug your knees into your chest. And then, as always, finishing up in Shavasana for our final meditation. So go ahead and release your feet forward. Let your feet flop open. Release your arms to your sides, palms face up. You can draw the shoulder blades together if you need to release any tension in the chest. And then as you're ready, taking 3 deep cleansing breaths, deep inhales in through the nose, and long sighs out of the mouth. Let it go. And again. Last time, deepest breath of the day. And then just release and let go, guys. Settle into that space deep inside. You can take Shavasana, you can stay in Shavasana as long as you need to. But thank you much for sharing your practice with me today. Namaste.